3 miraculous signs God reveals when preparing you for a divine purpose beyond your imagination. The church bells rang, their sound mingling with excited laughter on the cobblestone streets below. Emma, a devoted mother, felt the pulse of life in the quaint English town, a place where faith breathed through every brick and corner. As she settled into a pew, the sun poured through stained glass, casting colors that danced like angels on the wooden floor. But this Sunday was different. The pastor rose with fervor, his voice anointed with urgency, proclaiming about divine callings that await those brave enough to heed them. Prepare yourselves. He leaned forward, eyes shining. 3 miraculous signs await you when God reveals your true purpose. Emma's heart raced. She felt a stirring, a flicker of something sacred igniting deep within. Was this her moment? Was she meant for more? The atmosphere around her shimmered with possibility, drawing her closer to the edge of faith. She could hardly contain her excitement. The first sign arrived the following week. Emma returned home to find Lily, her bright-eyed daughter, skipping circles around the old oak tree. Seemingly out of nowhere, a lone feather floated down, glowing with an ethereal light and landing gently at Emma's feet. She picked it up, feeling warmth radiate from it. It wasn't just a feather, it felt alive, infused with something holy. "St. Jude?" she whispered. A chill ran through her, and she shivered with a sense of divine affirmation. Weeks rolled on. Each day was a blur of baking bread at the local bakery and mothering Lily with love. Yet, doubt loomed nearby. Nestled in her friend's cautious words, the well-meaning murmurs of skepticism began to drown her spiritual urgency. "Emma, focus on stability, not on some elusive call," they cautioned. The weight of those words pressed against her heart. Still, she prayed, yearning for clarity amidst the turmoil. Then came the second miraculous sign. One evening, as she prepared for bed, a sudden silver glow enveloped their small home. Kneeling, she could feel the weight of the world lift away. In that light, she envisioned Lily's health thriving, their life bursting with purpose. It was as though heaven itself embraced her, whispering encouragement into her heart. It rekindled her faith, urging her to embrace what lay ahead. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just a few days later, darkness fell upon Emma's heart when Lily fell gravely ill. Panic washed over her as she knelt beside her daughter's bed, tears streaming. "St. Jude, please," she cried, her voice cracking. In that sacred desperation, a warm, golden light filled the room. It enveloped both mother and daughter, lifting the very air. And in that moment, like a breathless whisper, healing washed over Lily. She opened her bright eyes, vibrant and alive. Emma couldn't contain her joy. Her heart soared with gratitude. But what did this mean for their future? As the annual St. Jude festival approached, whispers of purpose beckoned Emma closer. She felt the stirring of something magnificent on the horizon. The promise of a third sign, a revelation that could unite a community and forever change the lives of those around her. What could it be? The divine mystery loomed heavily in the air, and Emma stood at the threshold, eager yet anxious. Would she embrace the divine purpose that awaited her, transforming not only her life but that of everyone in their beloved town? The festival lights twinkled like stars in the night sky as the preparations began in earnest. Emma stepped into the town square, where laughter intertwined with the aroma of freshly baked pastries and the sound of children chasing one another. Yet beneath her smile lay a deep stir within her heart, a gentle urging that something extraordinary was on the verge of unfolding. Lily squeezed her hand, her laughter infectious. "Mummy, can we get sweet rolls?" she asked, eyes wide and sparkling. Emma nodded, but her mind was elsewhere, wrestling with the tension between everyday joys and the divine call lingering just out of reach. She watched the community come together in harmony, clinging to their joys. In that moment, she felt the warmth of connection, how every smile, every dance, and every shared prayer built a tapestry of faith among them. As the sun began to set, casting hues of orange and pink across the sky, Emma felt something shift within her. This was the time for the third miraculous sign. Her heart thumped in her chest, a reminder of all she had encountered thus far. The first notes of music floated into the cool evening air. The pastor took to the makeshift stage. His voice, steady and passionate, called everyone to attention. Tonight, we celebrate St. Jude and the miracles intertwined in our lives, he proclaimed joyfully. Cheers erupted around her, but Emma's focus intensified. As she watched him speak, she felt a tangible current of divine energy pass through her. God has a plan for each of us, the pastor continued, and sometimes that plan begins with a small, brave step. Could those words be meant for her? Every fiber of her being tingled with anticipation. This was her moment. Could she dare to step forward? Emma's gaze scanned the crowd. People of all ages gathered, hoping for something more. Did they, too, feel the heavenly presence? Her heart swelled with the thought. A community united by faith, awaiting the miraculous. She felt the push to share her testimony, to reveal her own awakenings through the signs bestowed upon her. St. Jude has healed me, she whispered, sharing the glowing truth flickering inside. As she took a breath, she remembered the warmth of the feather and the radiance that enveloped Lily. Her journey was interwoven with theirs. What was her fear but a veil hiding the love meant to be shared? Bravery ignited within her. Emma squeezed Lily's hand tightly. Let us go. With every step towards the stage, she felt the hesitation fall away. Behind her was a life of uncertainty, and ahead lay purpose. The enveloping light of acceptance brushed against her, calming her worries as she began to weave through the crowd. As she approached the pastor, a hush fell. All eyes turned towards her, anticipation sparkling in the air. Would they trust her testimony? Would they hear her call to action? Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the square, lifting a music sheet off the stand, cascading it like an angel's wing towards her. She caught it, and as she opened it, the words fell like glimmers of hope upon her heart. What is it, Emma? The pastor asked, eyes shining. She took a deep breath, remembering everything that had brought her here, reliance on faith and the revelations that unfolded like petals of a flower. I believe God is calling us to not only celebrate miracles but to embrace our own divine purposes. What if we united our talents to bless and uplift those around us? What would that look like? The murmur of the crowd blended with Emma's fervent hopes, and in that sacred moment, the spark of possibility ignited a fire of faith. Would they believe in her vision, in the transformative power of community? As minds turned, and hearts beat with the rhythm of wonder, Emma realized they stood at a pivotal crossroad where fear could be silenced and faith could flourish. She could feel the divine whisper urging her on, echoing with an intensity she had never known. But what lay ahead? Would her call to action ignite a flame in others, fueling God's purpose for the whole town? As the stars began to twinkle above, she felt the inexorable march toward her destiny. The answer awaited just beyond the horizon, tightly bound in the tender whispers of faith. The silence in the square was thick with anticipation, like the stillness just before a summer storm. Emma's heart raced. Every eye was on her, waiting for the words that would flow from her heart. She had been granted this opportunity, and with that came a profound sense of responsibility. She lifted her chin and began, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. Each of us carries a spark within, she declared, her gaze sweeping the faces before her. A spark that longs to grow, to ignite the world around us with love and kindness. Tonight, I feel called to invite each of you to nurture that spark. Together, we can illuminate the darkest corners of our community. Lily stood beside her, wide-eyed and full of innocence. The connection they shared felt sacred in that moment, mother and daughter united in purpose. The energy of the crowd shifted. It became a living entity, breathing in her words, exhaling hope. God has blessed us with gifts, Emma continued, her heart open and vulnerable. Gifts meant not only for our enjoyment but for the upliftment of those we encounter. What can we create together? A wave of murmurs rippled through the crowd, lifting her spirit higher. The pastor nodded, his eyes gleaming with understanding. Indeed, Emma, a true calling is about serving others. Can you feel that? His voice resonated, echoing back the collective heartbeat of faith. Just then, a few people began to step forward, an artist with paint-splattered hands, a musician with an old guitar slung over his shoulder, and an elderly woman harboring an endless supply of heartfelt stories. One by one, they shared how they envisioned contributing their talents. Community murals, music nights, and storytelling circles that would weave generations together. Emma felt tears of gratitude welling up. This was what she had hoped for. Together, they would revitalize their spirit, heal old wounds, and create new joys. The weight of her fear lifted, replaced by a tide of faith surging through her veins. "Let us gather what we have," Emma cried. "Let us meet together, pray together, and dream together. God has set a magnificent table for us. Let us feast upon the blessings of community." As she spoke, the crowd erupted in passionate agreement, voices rising in a chorus of unity. The festival lights now felt like heavenly fireflies, dancing above the townsfolk as they embraced this shared vision. In that electric moment, she knew she wasn't merely an individual call to action, but the voice of a collective awakening. A gentle breeze swept over them, and Emma closed her eyes for a moment, inhaling the warmth of divine assurance. An undeniable sense of purpose enveloped her, stronger than ever. Yet just as she felt the unity take root, a thought flickered in her mind. But was this merely the beginning? Did God have even more miraculous signs to present before her journey came to fruition? In the flickering lights and hushed whispers, Emma felt the very essence of possibility swirling around her, beckoning her forward. What revelations awaited in the depths of their collaboration? And as the night unfolded, would they discover the incredible strength hidden in their bond? Or would the path bring unexpected challenges? The stars above seemed to twinkle in secret, keeping divine mysteries close to their hearts. There was much still to uncover. As the applause died down, Emma felt the warm glow of connection wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. People were animated now, exchanging ideas, sharing dreams. It was as if the air had become charged with sacred energy, lifting spirits and binding hearts. Lily looked up at her mother, eyes sparkling with wonder, radiating the untainted joy that only a child possesses. "Mom, can we make the murals with them?" Lily asked, her voice bubbling over with excitement. There was unmistakable hope in her daughter's words, a reminder of the beauty to come from unity. Emma nodded, her heart swelling with pride and affection. "Absolutely, sweet girl. Together we can do anything." But even amidst this joyful chorus, a small whisper of doubt crept into Emma's mind. What if the spark of connection flickered out too soon? What if they faced obstacles too great to overcome? She shook her head, resolute. Fear had no place here tonight. The crowd began to divide into smaller groups, each brimming with passion and creativity. The artist sketched a design for the mural, bright colors symbolizing hope and community. The musician strummed a gentle chord on his guitar, inviting the others to sing along. Laughter and music intertwined, a melody of devotion rising to the heavens. "Emma," a familiar voice broke through her reverie. It was Benjamin, the town's baker, sheepishly approaching with flour on his cheek. "I've been thinking of a way to bring people together over food. Maybe a shared meal to celebrate our talents?" "Now that's a beautiful idea," Emma beamed. "Food has a way of nourishing both body and spirit. Let us plan a potluck. Everyone can bring a dish and share their stories." The crowd buzzed with enthusiasm. Emma watched in awe as a diverse group of people, young and old, newcomers and lifelong residents, began to mingle, finding common ground and inspiration. She felt the echo of her words resonate, drawing people closer, igniting purpose, understanding, and love. This was what it meant to be a community. Yet within that joy, shadows danced at the edges of her heart. What if they couldn't sustain this energy? What if their dreams fell apart when faced with the harsh realities of life? Then a voice broke through her thoughts. It belonged to the elderly woman who had shared her stories earlier. Emma, she said gently, sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. Trust that each step leads you closer to God's purpose, even when you cannot see it yet. A wave of warmth enveloped Emma, flooding her soul with comfort. She realized that this gathering was a miracle in itself. Each person contributed their unique light, creating a radiant tapestry of faith, a divine orchestration beyond her understanding. Just then, a child tugged at her skirt, pulling Emma back to the moment. "Are we gonna pray?" he asked, eyes wide with anticipation. The words stirred a ripple of agreement through the crowd. "Yes, let us gather," Emma responded, her heart swelling with gratitude. The crowd formed a circle, hands joined, their spirits woven together. As they bowed their heads in prayer, the air thickened with divine presence. "Lord, we come to you with open hearts, with open hands. As we begin this journey, guide us, show us the way." Emma's voice trembled with emotion. The energy built, surging through the people around her, a current of faith and unity. And then it happened. A sudden shift in the atmosphere, like a spark igniting in the air. The lights flickered above, and she caught glimpses of glimmering outlines among the crowd, as if angels were joining them. Emma gasped, looking around to see if others noticed. Was this a glimpse of God's mighty wonders revealing themselves? What could it mean for their community's unfolding purpose? In that sacred circle, the heart of possibility beat stronger than ever. As the night whispered its secrets and tucked the stars safely in the sky, Emma knew her journey was only just beginning. What would the next chapters bring? And what profound signs of God's workings behind the scenes awaited them all? As the prayer came to a close, the air crackled with an electric current of divine possibility. Hearts beat in unison, and in that moment, Emma realized something profound. This was not just about murals or potlucks. It was about awakening the dormant dreams wrapped in the souls of those around her. Lily looked up, her eyes shimmering like stars. "Can we paint the wall tomorrow?" she asked, bursting with eagerness. Emma smiled, enraptured by her daughter's joyous spirit. "Of course, my love. We'll create something beautiful together." With the crowd still buzzing, Emma felt a gentle tug at her heart. The elderly woman from earlier, who had spoken wisdom into her fears, approached. Her kind eyes held a spark of knowing. "Emma, dear, remember that miracles often unfold in the moments we least expect. Look for them even in small things." Inspired by the woman's words, Emma turned to her gathered neighbors, their faces alight with anticipation. "Could we transform our fears into strength? Would you be willing to share something you've longed to create?" Voices rang out like music, each person eager to contribute their uniqueness, a poet with verses that danced, a dancer who expressed what words could not, and a farmer sharing tales of the harvest. Each story unveiled a piece of their hearts, weaving a tapestry of vulnerability and courage. As the stories flowed, Emma noticed a flicker of light dancing in the openness, a tangible presence of grace descending on them. It swirled like a gentle wind around the circle, filling her with peace. The doubts that had clung to her began to fade, replaced by a warm assurance. God was at work, stirring something holy among them. "Let us build on this spirit," Emma urged passionately. "Each creation we share will not just beautify a wall, but will also embolden our spirits. We're painting our story of hope." Cheers and claps erupted, and everyone embraced the vision with fervor. As they dispersed to gather supplies for the potluck and their mural, Emma grabbed Lily by the hand and led her to a quiet corner. "What's in your heart, darling?" Emma asked, kneeling down to meet Lily's gaze. "I want to paint a rainbow, Mom." It'll remind everyone that God's promises are always bright, even when it's cloudy. Emma's heart swelled, tears of joy welling in her eyes. "That's beautiful, Lily. Rainbows always show hope after rain." They clasped hands, feeling a spark of divine unity envelop them as dusk settled around the town. The vibrant colors of paint and laughter began flowing into homes, blending with the sense of delicious dishes being prepared for the gathering. Yet deep within Emma lingered that earlier thought, could this burst of life hold fast against the storms to come? The elderly woman approached her again, as if sensing the flicker of uncertainty. Every light casts shadows, dear. It's how we choose to step into the light that defines our path. Seeing the deep reassurance in her eyes, a dawning realization washed over Emma. They were standing on the brink of preparing for something much greater than mere food and art. The ripples of their actions were reaching far beyond their understanding, perhaps even as far into eternity. With a fire ignited in her spirit, Emma took a deep breath, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. "Let us continue to be open to the miracles," she whispered, inspired by the collective hope around her. Soon, laughter echoed through the night, mingling harmoniously with the scent of sweet desserts and savory dishes. Shadows of uncertainty bowed to the luminous glow of communion and creativity. But just as Emma turned to join the crowd, a single thought flickered in her mind. Was this gathering the start of their journey or merely an overture? As the stars twinkled brightly above, she found herself asking, what miraculous signs would emerge as they stepped deeper into their divine purpose? As twilight cloaked the town in soft hues of indigo and silver, the air grew thick with expectancy. Emma felt a stirring in her soul, an invitation to dive deeper into the realm of creative possibilities. Her neighbors were not just gathering. They were stepping into a sacred space, one where every heart had something to contribute, and each act of creation was a step toward discovering their divine purpose. The first potluck dishes began to appear on tables: platters of steaming lasagna, bowls decorated with vibrant salads, and baskets brimming with homemade bread. Each meal spoke of love and effort, offering not just nourishment but a sense of belonging. Emma moved through the crowd, reveling in the chatter around her. She felt the warmth of community wrap around her like a familiar blanket, urging her onward. Lily darted around, showing off her art supplies to anyone who would listen. "Look, we have colors for the mural," she offered, her enthusiasm sweeping nearby children into her playful orbit. Emma beamed, the innocence and joy of her daughter reminding her of Goddess' delight in the small, simple things. Suddenly, a voice broke through the laughter: Mrs. Thompson, the wise elder, calling out from her distant corner. "Let us pray together before we feast." The crowd's energy shifted, and a hush enveloped the gathering. Every heart turned toward the call. Emma grasped Lily's hand tightly, and an unexpected wave of reassurance filled her. Silent prayers erupted, threading faith into the very fabric of that evening. "Lord," Mrs. Thompson began, her voice steady and clear, "we thank you for this bounty. May these creations reflect your love, and may your light shine through our talents." As the final amen hung in the air, something shifted. A gentle breeze ruffled the trees, seeming to echo the stillness beneath their artfully surprised gazes. The atmosphere shimmered with promise, charged with a sense of imminent revelation. Suddenly, without warning, the first sign broke through the night like a shooting star. A glittering display of lights danced across the heavens, sparking gasps from the formation below. "Look," a voice pierced the silence. "God is showing us hope." Emma squinted upward, her heart beating in rhythm with the meteor shower. Stars overhead spun in divine choreography, each streak a testament to faith woven into their efforts. It felt as if heaven rejoiced with them, affirming their gathering as something extraordinary. And then the second sign emerged. A flicker of glow erupted from the makeshift mural wall, where Lily and her friends had begun painting their rainbows. As they brushed vibrant hues across the surface, the colors illuminated anew, radiating warmth into the cool night. It was as if the mural itself came alive, whispering secrets of hope and promise as murmurs of awe spread through the group. Emma felt the pull of something deeper. "Let us paint our dreams, our hopes, our promises. This isn't just a mural, it's a witness to our journey," she proclaimed. The community sparkled with renewed energy, painting not merely symbols, but capturing the very essence of their aspirations. It became an act of worship, each brushstroke echoing their collective desires before God. In the midst of this divine atmosphere, the elderly woman appeared again. Her presence radiated calm assurance. "You see, dear Emma, the signs are not just for wonder. They call us into action. Each color, every shared dish their seeds for tomorrow. Miracles are in the making. Just then, as they stepped fully into their creation, the final sign revealed itself. A radiant figure illuminated the edge of the gathering. Emma's heart skipped. She couldn't quite grasp the shape or form, but it felt like pure love. An invitation. Is this divine purpose unfolding before us? Or are we to dive deeper? Emma mused silently, feeling the mystery wrap around her heart. As the night continued to crescendo with joy, she couldn't shake the feeling that something greater awaited them. What lay just beyond their current understanding? What would they uncover next as they continued on this path together? The night held its breath, seemingly caught in awe as the radiant figure flickered in and out of visibility at the gathering's fringe. The atmosphere sparked with a palpable electric charge. Emma held tightly to Lilia's hand, feeling her heart race as she sensed the invitation pulsing before her. What awaited them? What dreams still lay hidden beneath the surface of existence? Emma's voice trembled with anticipation. Friends, look at the wonders around us. Can we see how every moment unfolds like a flower before us? Excitement blossomed in the onlookers' eyes. Each watched the vibrant mural transform, a canvas illustrating not just paint but hopes birthed from their hearts. The children continued their frolic, adding touches of whimsy to the mural. Pinks and oranges mixed with bold blues and greens. Each swirl bolstered a feeling of joy and belonging. It was more than paint. It was the essence of their community, rendered in divine color. Yet it was the figure at the edge that drew Emma's focus. In the flicker of light, she caught glimpses of something that felt both familiar and extraordinary. Her spirit stirred as she perceived it emanated peace, the kind that can only come from a source of true love. "What are you saying, Lord?" she whispered, her voice lost in the soft murmur of the crowd. Mrs. Thompson, observing Emma's distraction, stepped closer. "The divine often whispers, sweet Emma. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Here, creation and purpose are intertwined." As if in response, the mural seemed to pulse beneath their brushstrokes, the colors shimmering as if they danced with joy. The night air shifted as a warm breeze swept through, enfolding the gathering like a mother's embrace. Joyful praises bubbled forth, each one an affirmation. "God is among us," someone cried out, and the affirmation rippled through the crowd. But Emma felt a stirring. A call to deeper understanding whispered beneath the singing. What if there's something more? The thought coiled tightly within her heart. She glanced back at the glowing figure, now shining brighter than before. Perhaps it wasn't merely showing them hope. Perhaps it was leading them towards something transformative and awakening. At the edge of the gathering, a hush fell. Emma watched as the figure, now shimmering like the stars above, raised a hand gently toward the mural. With that movement, a wave of light cascaded forward, spilling over the painted canvas and illuminating the faces around her. Surrounded by this sacred radiance, Emma felt tears of joy slip down her cheeks, a rush of gratitude washing over her. "Let us receive this blessing, dear friends. Each stroke of our brush represents our commitment to a new dawn, to dreams unfurling," she encouraged, her voice rising above the whispers. The crowd murmured in agreement, lifting their paintbrushes like they were prayerful offerings, uniting their hearts in intent. Each person grew deeply aware of their significance in this moment. In this gathering, their dreams fused together in love, peace, and undeniable faith. They felt themselves embraced by something far greater, a manifestation of goddess love. Before Emma could express her thoughts, Mrs. Thompson stepped forward once more, her eyes glowing with wisdom. "Every sign you see, every color you paint today, it is a promise of what God is crafting but unseen. Miracles are not contained. They spill over if you merely open your hearts." As they leaned into the purpose unfolding before them, Emma's mind swirled with wonder. What was this mystery that beckoned to them? What were the greater plans that awaited beyond their understanding? She sensed the intertwining of their past with the future, like threads weaving into a tapestry of divine purpose. Suddenly, a brilliant light lit up the mural, casting hues across the atmosphere like a divine blessing igniting their dreams. In that moment, Emma was seized by a thought that resonated deep within. What comes next could change everything. The questions lingered, drawing closer, leaving everyone curious about the unfolding narrative of their lives together. What miraculous signs awaited them next? What dreams still slept, waiting to be painted into reality? The atmosphere vibrated with unspoken hopes as the crowd stood mesmerized by the mural, now ablaze with divine hues. Emma could feel the anticipation crackling in the air like an electric current. It seemed as if every painted stroke whispered promises of what was yet to come, a tableau of their intertwined destinies laden with spiritual significance. She turned to Lily, her heart swelling with joy. "Can you feel it?" Emma asked, her breath catching. "We are on the cusp of something extraordinary, something that will not just change us but perhaps the world around us." Lily nodded, her eyes wide and bright. "Feels like love, doesn't it? Like it's wrapping around us, urging us to dig deeper into ourselves." A gentle chuckle came from Mrs. Thompson, who had moved closer to the mosaic of vivid colors. "Ah, dear ones, love is the foundation upon which miracles are built. It's the very thread weaving through your lives. Do not shy away from its pull. Embrace it." As more paint swirled onto the mural, the children began dancing, their laughter ringing out like joyful bells. The light from the mysterious figure illuminated them, each child a vessel of innocence and hope. Emma marveled at the sight, realizing their connection was not just to one another but to something much larger, a divine tapestry of life. Then, as if sensing the weight of the moment, the glimmering figure lifted its hand again, this time deliberately tracing patterns in the air. Intrigued and mesmerized, the gathering watched, breaths held, as sparks of light erupted from its fingers, showering down upon them. Each flicker mirrored the flames of faith igniting within Emma's heart. "Friends," she called, her voice echoing the sincerity she felt. "Look closely. Each spark holds a message, a miraculous sign. Can we lean into this divine guidance?" The crowd fell silent, urgency replacing the earlier playfulness. Each flicker enveloped them, inviting reflection. Emma's heart raced. "What is it you wish to awaken in us, Lord?" She wondered aloud, her spirit soaring with curiosity. Just then, as if pulled by the unseen force of prayer, distinct images began to appear in the air, the outlines of trees with roots deep beneath the earth, vines curling toward the heavens, a river flowing steadily. Each vision struck deep, resonating with truths they all knew. Mrs. Thompson stepped forward again, her eyes reflecting the rioting colors around them. "These are signs. The tree speaks of growth nurtured by love and faith. The vines represent our aspirations reaching higher, while the river flows smoothly, guiding us through life's journey." Emma listened, heart swelling with understanding. Could it be that the river holds our dreams? A chorus of gasps shot through the crowd, each person experiencing the sparks illuminating their inner longings. Suddenly, a palpable silence fell. The light flickered worryingly, revealing the figure's radiant form. It seemed to dance, almost inviting them to step forward. "This is not just about seeing, this is about doing," Mrs. Thompson whispered. "Faith is alive when it moves through us." Emma took a bold step forward, her hands trembling as she reached out toward the luminous figure. A wave of warmth swept over her, urging the others to follow. When their fingers brushed the edges of light, vivid visions collided with their hearts, a community transformed. Lives changed through one simple act of love. Tears washed over Emma's cheeks, but now they weren't merely of joy. They embodied purpose. Let us become the instruments of His work. Let this light ignite our hearts into action. With renewed energy rippling through everyone, they began to gather closer, hands joining together. The mysterious light enveloped them all, and Emma felt an unshakable sensation. They were standing on the brink of a revelation. Yet, as the night deepened, Emma was reminded of the lingering questions. What awaited them beyond their shared purpose? What miracles were still hidden, yearning to be revealed? And as the mural continued to glow, the figure flickered again, leaving an echo in the air, a divine whisper that beckoned once more. What if, Emma thought, What if we must take this journey beyond our comfort? What awaits when we respond? The vibrant energy surged forward, leaving hearts beating wildly with expectation, a shared understanding settling among the crowd. They had taken the first step, but the greatest adventure was still to come. What would it take for them to fully embrace their divine purpose? The mystery hung heavily in the air, ready to be unveiled in the chapters that lay ahead. Emma stood at the forefront of the gathering, her heart a drum of anticipation. The glow from the mural bathed their faces in soft light, and she could sense the transformative energy pressing against her chest. Each child's laughter faded into silence as the congregation focused on the hushed whisper of the divine. In that sacred moment, she felt the weight of her every decision leading up to this night, the everyday moments that had shaped her in preparation for this extraordinary call to action. "Are we ready?" Emma asked, her voice rising above the stillness. Each face turned toward her, eyes shimmering with hope and courage. The figure beckons us, urging us to take the leap into the unknown. What if we step forward into his calling? A ripple of murmurs flowed through the crowd, igniting a spark of fearless excitement. Mrs. Thompson took a deep breath, her voice laced with sincerity. "Every miracle requires a choice, dear ones. It starts with our willingness to let go of what is familiar and embrace what lies ahead. Will you trust?" Emma felt the question settle in their hearts. It resonated like the embrace of an old friend, one that promised growth but demanded sacrifice. She glanced around, every face reflecting an array of emotions: fear, anticipation, and a growing determination. Lily stepped forward, her voice steady. "I believe our dreams are waiting for us, just beyond this moment. If we stand together and take this leap, we might find more than we ever imagined." The children, infused with this spirit of unity, reached out, forming a circle of small hands clasped tightly together. Their innocence soothed the fears of the adults, reminding Emma that sometimes it was the purest hearts that could lead the way. As the radiant figure swirled above them, the air vibrated with a sound like soft music, the whisper of destiny calling them onward. Suddenly, 3 distinct illuminations burst forth from the figure, each representing a sign that hung in the air like gentle incense, leaving trails of light behind. The first sign, Mrs. Thompson said, her voice growing passionate, is the gift of courage. Our fears may be humbling, but with courage, we can break chains that hold us back. This is our call to step beyond doubt. The crowd leaned closer as the light around them flickered brighter, each heartbeat resonating with the urgency and necessity of courage. Emma felt it deep within her, the anticipation swirling inside her like a fierce breeze. She could see the shadows of hesitation dissipate, replaced by an empowering warmth. The second sign, continued Mrs. Thompson, is divine love. It binds us together, uniting our intentions and our hearts. In this love, we find purpose and strength. At that moment, Emma caught the gaze of an elderly man who had been a quiet observer. His lips curled into a smile, as if grasping the essence of their call. Love pulsated through the crowd, stirring an excitement that traveled like waves, crashing upon their souls. And the third sign, Mrs. Thompson breathed, is the promise of transformation. We are not merely participants in our stories. We are catalysts for Christ's light in this world. Let us awaken to our potential. Emma's breath hitched as she absorbed the truth of these signs. It was beyond imagination. It was realization. They were meant to not only follow their dreams but to actively usher in a divine change. Heartbeats synced in harmony as they collectively felt the weight of this divine invitation. Emma's spirit soared, but yet, she couldn't shake a gnawing curiosity. What specific actions would their divine purpose demand? In that moment of clarity, she faced the mural, the brilliant colors swirling with promise. "What are we to do next?" she whispered, the question hanging heavy and full of possibility. Across the crowd, hands became more intertwined, the barriers of isolation crumbling under the new weight of shared faith. Emma sensed a divine winding path opening before them as the vibrant lights flickered again. A mysterious flicker of uncertainty swept through the assembly, and the glow began to pulse with an intensity that was both intoxicating and mildly alarming. What awaited them at the end of this road paved with courage, love, and transformation? The divine mystery beckoned ever closer, urging them to answer what lay beyond their comfort. Would they seize the chance to step forward and uncover the miraculous life God had planned for them? The next phase of their journey awaited. As the stars adorned the night sky, casting a gentle glow over the town, Emma stood at the brink of a profound revelation. The air crackled with divine energy, and the gathered community felt the weight of the moment. They were not just witnesses to God's signs. They were participants in a divine orchestra, their hearts ready to play their part. Brothers and sisters, Emma said, urgency threading through her voice like a lifeline. We have received our signs: courage, love, and transformation. Let us not waste this sacred opportunity. What if our collective dreams could reshape our very lives? She felt a tremor of excitement ripple through the crowd, a vibrant pulse of anticipation igniting their spirits. Lily squeezed her hand tightly, her youthful eyes shining with innocence and wonder. Can we be brave together, Mommy? The question struck Emma's heart like a warm embrace. It was in the simplicity of her daughter's words, in that untainted faith, that Emma found clarity. Yes, my love. Together, we can face whatever comes. As the crowd murmured in agreement, a sense of unity descended upon them. They were no longer simply individuals. They were a movement, a tapestry of hopes woven together under God's guiding light. The mysterious figure continued to dance at the periphery, shimmering like the dawn, urging them forward with its radiant presence. Let us take action. Mrs. Thompson spoke up, her voice steady, revealing the strong undercurrent of faith lying within her. Let us transform our love into service. What deeds can we perform that mirror the gifts God has bestowed upon us? Suddenly, the townsfolk erupted in a flurry of ideas. Inspiration flowed freely, each person drawing from their unique talents. Let us host workshops, shouted the artist, face beaming. I can teach painting, and will bring in others to share their skills. Community dinners, chimed in Benjamin from the bakery. We can create a bond over shared meals, combining our kitchens into one. Food brings people together like nothing else. I'll run a storytelling circle, contributed the elderly woman, her voice caressing the souls of those gathered. We can share tales of hope, encouraging the younger ones to see the beauty of our past. Emma watched in awe as ideas blossomed, each suggestion a testament to the divine purpose blooming in their hearts. The fear that once held them captive melted away, replaced by the sweet fragrance of faith forging a new path as these visions exploded into the air. They didn't just float aimlessly. They coalesced into something tangible. They formed an action plan, launching forth a wave of divine intention that would sweep through every home and heart in the community. Now, let us gather tonight to pray, Emma said, her resolve unwavering. May each of our endeavors be blessed as we step into our calling. The crowd formed a circle, hands intertwined, the warmth of connection flourishing. Emma closed her eyes, breathing in the essence of unity, feeling the palpable love wrapping around them like a sacred blanket. Lord, she prayed, her voice trembling with emotion, we thank you for these miraculous signs. May we move forward in faith and courage, creating a community that reflects your love. Guide our hands, illuminate our path. Let us be your vessels. Just then, as if the heavens themselves answered her plea, a brilliant flash illuminated the night sky. Twinkling stars seemed to sync with the rhythm of their hearts. A communal cheer erupted, echoing like a powerful hymn resonating with the very fabric of their being. I can feel the hope, Lily whispered, eyes wide, reflecting the wonder around her. Emma held her daughter close. We are embarking on the voyage of a lifetime, sweetheart. As the vibrant chatter of plans filled the air, Emma absorbed this primal understanding. They were more than a community now. They were a family bound by faith and purpose, ready to embark on their divine journey. Each of their dreams, a brush stroke on the mural of existence, created a masterpiece of love, courage, and transformation. The night embraced them, and the glowing figure faded into the soft whispers of the wind, leaving behind a lingering sense of assurance this was only the beginning. As they dispersed into the darkness of the night, Emma felt a divine spark igniting deep within her soul. She dared to dream beyond boundaries, embracing the miracle of what they would create together. And thus, with every step they took toward serving their community, Emma knew that the miraculous signs they had received were not just indicators but prompts to action. They were called to be lights in the world. Now, dear friends, this is the moment to embrace the calling on your own lives. Are you ready to uncover the miraculous purpose God has for you? Look around. Who can you reach out to? What talent can you share? Don't wait even one more second. You need to subscribe immediately to this channel so you can continue this journey of faith and divinity with us. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help spread this divine message. Comment below with your reactions and testimonies about how God is calling you to serve. And finally, share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Let us ignite a movement of faith together.